I'm sorry, that's just so obvious. It seems so obvious. Oh my gosh, episode 8 of Solo Leveling. Nice little break after a nice recap episode mid-season. We jump right back into the action, and yeah, this episode ended with probably the most obvious setup I have ever seen. Like, if you have this major traumatic experience back here, and then suddenly everybody from that original group is all pulled together again for this low-level dungeon, and you're being stuck with a bunch of convicts, it sounds to me like something's going wrong. Like, there's some suspicious stuff going on in the background that I would immediately question. Plus, there's the aspect that I don't know if they maybe get penalized if they accept the dungeon and they don't do the dungeon. They might get penalized, but I just, the moment I walked up that door, like, literally, this is a low-rank dungeon, and we're gonna go in with a bunch of convicts? Yeah, no. No. And even the organization is pulling those convicts, and they have a B rank. It's like, well, why don't they just go? Like, it's from the organization. They could probably do it without a full party. I think the whole restriction for having a full party is from the organization. So why not just have the B rank guy go in with all these other convicts that are obviously high rank too? Just have them do it. Like, they would easily be able to do this dungeon. Why even go? It's just, there's too many massive question marks, and it's like, I don't see why nobody is I mean, they question it, but they kind of quickly jump into the idea that this is a normal thing, which I think that would have been nice if they had established that early on, that going in with conflicts, maybe have like one join every now and then, just kind of show this is a thing, because it obviously seems like they're short-handed, so they should have run into this experience before. But yeah, there's red flags everywhere, and I'm like, why is everybody okay with this? This doesn't sound legit. Obviously, from our perspective, seeing what's kind of unfolding, it seems like somebody involved with somebody from that original party from the first episode wants them dead. Somebody has a lot of money and is willing to pay a lot of money to see at least these members dead. Now, I'm not sure exactly who in the party is involved, who was in the original party that was involved with somebody that has that much money, but it seems like that's the deal here. That this, it has a little bit of a snippet of it in the manga itself, or the manhwa, that does clarify that this guy that is overseeing them, I think they're implying that he is a faker, like he's a rank faker, in the idea that he could have been like a really high ranked person, but he joined the overseeing group. Like, he joined this organization. Why? Because he likes killing people. So we're going in that whole thing. He's just he's a bad guy. He's a murderer. He likes to kill people. Great character development. He just likes killing people. It's fine. There's going to be that types in the world, even though we've technically run into 2 now. It seems like this world is just filled with people that just want to kill people because it's fun. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where that all goes. But again, sorry. I know that Sung wouldn't mind it because he's got a goal. I need to get stronger. I need this stuff. I need to get stronger so that I can go. It didn't really establish if he still has the key or not. He did try to get a key, but I think he was trying to get the key in order to get stronger. I don't know if they've established yet that he still has the key to get in that one dungeon, which, if that's the case, that he lost that key, I would think that he'd be a lot more torn up about that. I think he was trying to get new keys. So I think we're still establishing that he still has the other key. So he just wants to get stronger. Again, he has a focus. He has a push. And that is to go in these dungeons and get stronger and all that kind of stuff. So interesting that he was kind of experimenting with other ways of doing it. And the idea of like, okay, maybe I can just get a penalty, which I brought that up at some point. I wonder if at some point he's going to let himself get a penalty so that he can fight it. And he's like, well, technically I don't have any indication that I can defeat that thing. So I would imagine if he could try, and then if he can't, just run away. But there's no telling that he is going to get the same penalty. That's the big question mark there. But yeah, everybody else in that group, I'd be like, nope. I know Johei's doing it because her life seems to be completely centered around the idea that she doesn't want to be a burden, and Sung is like this inspiration for her. So she's going to follow him everywhere because that seems to be her driving focus. So, but yeah, the entire first half of this episode seemed to have been new stuff. Or maybe new stuff. Again, I'm reading the manga up until the point the episodes end. So they could have this stuff later on. Maybe they're trying to sprinkle it throughout this series so far, just sort of get us kind of into it rather than it being a dump later. But yeah, that's something I have noticed with the anime, is that they're spending a lot of time on side characters. And it's stuff that I'm not seeing in the manhwa, at least the manhwa. It could be in the novel. And yeah, this entire first half was Again, could be later, but I do like it. For a while now, with everything that with the side characters, I've been pretty much like, this is a waste of time. Like, why are we showing, again, his sister's friend at school? I don't care. Like, unless there's some story beat around her, I really don't care, unless you're just trying to show what normal people think of the hunters. It adds no value. And now we're finally starting to seem like we're pulling it all together. Like, oh yeah, there's a reason why we keep showing this Hyen Sha. She apparently is getting recruited by this company, and that company is recruiting people when they shouldn't be, and they're making people angry. That company, again, technically being Yo's father, they want to get into this business. It makes sense to the world itself that all resources seem to be funneling from the dungeons. And they even show like this little snippet from this article about how like the electric companies are hiking up the prices because probably demand. So it kind of is showing how this company's rising up. It wants to recruit members. At the same time, it looks like the head of this one, Jongin Choi, it seems like he wants to actually go back to the original island. Again, way back to the first episode. I didn't get an indication about that before. I think they said that was a disaster, but I never got an indication that it's still there. That island had those breakouts, they were fighting to take it over, but they lost it. So it seems like, at least Baek and Choi, they left some things behind, which is obviously indicating their members, their friends, their companions died that day. And they want to go back there to reclaim what they lost there, reclaim the things they've lost, and to put an end to that. And it seems like Choi especially is like, I'm putting together a party. It seems to indicate this idea of like, okay, they failed there. It was a massive failure, and this is a stain on his life and something he can never forget. And he wants to essentially return to it, but society itself seems to have kind of locked it away. They're doing like, they're looking at it, they're examining it, they're inspecting it, they're getting updates about it, but they don't want to go back. Like, society has basically given up on that island. He wants to take that. And I think it's a cool story. That could go into something really interesting to kind of be, you know, show the S ranks, all the high ranks, and how powerful they are in overcoming this. Now, if Song's going to be involved with that, that's the question mark. I would assume that he is, but we'll see. But yeah, one part of the episode that I really did like was the return of Song. I think they're doing a really good job with Song in the anime. As I mentioned before, there is snippets that they have put Song in this situation. There's like flashbacks where Song's getting advice, and it's always from Song. Which technically in the manhwa, there's several of those that aren't necessarily him, but the anime is sort of turning him into sort of a nice like father figure, a guidance figure, and they've been doing a really good job of it so far. I've really liked his character, and so it was very interesting to see that he is technically skilled in the swordsmanship, but he's actually a mage. And I don't think that I got that indication when I watched him in action in the first episodes, but that seems to be the case. It's kind of an interesting thing, the idea of somebody spending their entire life being something combat related and then get a gift from being awakened, which is not that. I've been training the sword my entire life, and then I finally awakened and I'm a mage. But it was interesting. I don't think they really indicated, maybe I missed it, but in the manhwa they indicated that Song is actually training an S rank. So when he's in the dojo in this episode, he's actually training an S rank. An S rank is learning from a lower rank Song to do swordsmanship, because again, technically Song is a master swordsman. And there's this idea that they're constantly hitting on, that they do want to train to get stronger. Not stronger like their abilities as their awakened ability can get stronger, but their skill in utilizing it, which is important. So again, even though he is an S rank, he can learn a lot from Song. And even though Song is really low rank as a hunter, he's actually very skilled in a swordsman. So it's a really cool little kind of snippet there. And like I said, I really like seeing him kind of getting reintroduced to Song. Again, seems like a redemption for him. He's very broken up about what happened. He still wants to do good. He still wants to, you know, provide to society what he can. That's why he doesn't want to retire. Same thing with Kim. He's like, you know, look, I still gotta feed the kids. Flag. I like the idea that we're already flagging this stuff. Yeah, with how much flagging they're doing with Kim and Song, it's like, my assumptions are already that they're going to go in this dungeon. They're going to be fighting around in there. At some point, that B rank guy, the observer, he's gonna signal to the guys, and they're going to kill Kim. At least Kim. Kim is for sure going to die, because they're already talking like, you should find another job, find somewhere else to work. No, I beat up monsters. I'm a good dad. I can beat up those monsters, but not human monsters. So he's going to die. Kim for sure Kim for sure dead. Sung, I don't want to die, but I can see him dying too. I think Kim and Sung are going to die, and then Sung is going to turn on the guys, take them out, and then he's going to have to fight against the Observer, and it's going to be hopefully somewhat of a challenge. I don't know, there could be a chance that the Observer, there's a side of me that believes that he is going to give up and try to report Sung. But again, this is a guy that likes to kill because he likes to kill. So he's probably going to find it a challenge and want to take down Sung. But in the end, I think Johei's probably going to live. I don't know. If they want to go for the full-on shock value, they'll probably have Johei die as well. I kind of don't want her to die, not because she's cute, but because I think they're trying to do something with her character, and it's not there yet. Her character's not there yet. With Sung and Kim, their characters are pretty much rounded. You have, again, the guy that, you know, abandoned everybody and he still wants to do things for his family. You've established his flags. He's going to die. Sung, it's a redemption arc. He failed. He got his redemption here where he's apologizing to everybody. He wants to do good this time, and he's probably going to fail in the end. He's probably going to make a decision in order to help them, and he's dead. With Johei, again, she is technically so, like, early on surface level, the idea that she's a coward and she wants to overcome that, and Sung is sort of pushing her to that, but she hasn't had that rounding point for her character. So I think she's going to live, but I think, yeah, again, Sung and Kim are dead, and then Sung will take out the guys. That's my prediction, what we're going to do. There's a side of me that almost kind of feels it's a little cheesy, but at the same time, it's trying to keep this element of the stakes at play with the story and keep it kind of moving. So they're trying to keep things kind of entertaining. And despite the fact that it feels a little forced, this kind of situation being thrown on Sung makes sense. I kind of wish that they had established the idea of convicts always being in these groups on a regular basis, because they're obviously struggling to get people. But why hasn't it been? They should have had like maybe one or two pop up here and there to sort of establish this is normal in this world. Because obviously the Hunters Association established in this episode is in control of everything. It's sort of become the new conglomerates, the new companies that sort of pull the strings in the government. And that's something, again, that technically Yo's father wants to get involved with. We've always been in these big, massive companies. We've always been having our fingers in everything. Why not this? Let's get into this thing. So, yeah, as predicted, it looks like they did cover that whole scene with Sung accepting Yo's proposal. Again, technically establishing, no, we're going to go in together, just you and me. Doesn't want to get anything revealed. Plus, it'll look better for you. Yeah, it's true. We could do that. But yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. Hopefully, next episode's not too cringe. I mean, we have some very cringy criminals that are going to be in the situation. So hopefully, it's not too like obvious that it plays out the way that I'm kind of predicting. But that's sort of where I'm feeling it going based on the flags they've established so far. Hopefully, again, Johei, even if they do kill her off, hopefully they at least establish her doing something that kind of rounds her character out before they just go for shock value. But again, I think it's just going to be Sung and Kim. I don't know. It could just be Sung because he's kind of had his redemption right here. And it would be interesting to have Kim survive so that he can sort of get his redemption too. Like, have it be the point where he doesn't flee. Like, he doesn't just drop and run. It could be this could be this moment of going, you know, look, I messed up last time. I'm not going to mess up this time. But we'll see. But anyhow, that's my thoughts on episode 8 of Solo Leveling. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure that like button down below, comment, let me know what's the episode. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button's got my content. I do news reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support the channel more, at Patreon link, tips, links, super thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate what it does. Y'all take care.